Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. What a way to start the season at home against one of the best teams in the National Football League and divisional rival, the Detroit Lions. I have to start this game, or this clip, to this game with Micah Parsons, who's working his way inside here. This is 2nd and 10. There's 4 minutes left. Green Bay's up 27-6 at this point. The game is well out of reach. Detroit's just looking to get something going here. And I apologize because of NFL copyright. We kind of have to play around here. But Micah Parsons comes all the way down here and wraps up Jared Goff. And as you can tell from everybody down to here, everybody is absolutely ecstatic. Micah Parsons only had 1 sack, 1 tackle in tonight's game, or this afternoon's game, but I think he played really well. He was on limited snaps, and you're going to see him in a bunch of these clips, so let's get into this recap. Alright guys, here we go. By the way, hit that like button for me. It makes a very big difference. Try and get 100 likes on tonight's video. We're looking at Rashan Garry right here, who had a really nice night, a little over 1 sack. You're going to see him in just a second. Lucas Van Ness also, we'll get to his sack in a few clips. Both of these guys, it's 1st and 10 right now. This is the first play of the 4th quarter. It's 17-6 Green Bay's way. They did not score. Green Bay didn't score a single point in the 3rd quarter. So this game is well within reach for the Detroit Lions. Momentum's kind of at a standstill right now. And as you can see right here, Lucas Van Ness, number 90, already breaking the pocket, getting down there. And we see Rashan Garry up here. Bring him down. It was almost a safety, but as you can tell, he kind of whips him, he sacks him in the end zone, and then kind of drags Jared Goff back in there. But when we look up here, first off, Lucas Van Ness on this right side does a great job against all-pro right tackle Penei Sewell. Over here, we got a really good left tackle in the National Football League in Taylor Decker, and you're going to see Rashan Garry just bulldoze him. I mean, he just powers through him, grabs a hand on him, and just brings him down. The power, the strength on Rashan Garry. He's had, I think this was his 50th ever sack in the National Football League. We're all expecting really big things from him this season, and this was a great start. All right, guys, another defensive clip. I might mess around with the clips of this because we've just covered defense all the way up until this video. Right here, we got Lucas Van Ness on the inside, and then you're also going to see Micah, that's a terrible arrow, Micah Parsons here on the outside, on the edge. He's going to break through and just apply pressure. So Jared Goff is stepping in. We see number 90. He comes on in here, brings him down. Rashan Garry is all over it too. I believe this was a half sack for Lucas Van Ness and also a half sack for Rashan Garry. But once again, we see number 90 right here on the Packers. Lucas Van Ness just powering through, bulldozing. And we said it right when Micah Parsons got traded to Green Bay, kind of under the assumption that LVN is going to be moving more inside, or you're going to be seeing him a lot inside, just like we did in his last season at Iowa. And they get another sack here. Once again, the Green Bay Packers dominated that Detroit Lions offensive line, and they looked good, man. This looked like a really powerful group. This right here was a big catalyst to this football game. Evan Williams entering his sophomore campaign, kind of a jack of all trades. This guy can do a little bit of every single thing out there. And it's 3rd and 7. You can't see it on the screen. But he's going to come in here. Jared Goff just whips that ball. We got Evan Williams right here. A couple of Packers defenders everywhere. And he just jumps this route, headed to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I love it. He's all the way back here. You see him creep up a little bit into this kind of second level of the defense. 3rd and 7, 17-3 Green Bay's way. There's 1 minute, 13 seconds left on the game clock in the first half. Detroit was moving the ball well down the field. They're at least going to get a field goal right here. But on 3rd and 7, not only do they get a stop, but they get a complete turnover. Evan Williams had a phenomenal rookie season, and this is another one of these Green Bay Packers players that kind of falls out of the wayside of NFL media, but Packers media, Packers fans, you guys certainly know Evan Williams, and he makes his sophomore campaign known right out of the get-go. So right here is kind of where it all seemed like it was truly coming together, and this wasn't just a dream. The Green Bay Packers might actually be able to stay with this game and win the game. It's 10-3 right now. It's 1st and 10, and what you're going to see here, and I'm having trouble even seeing who this is. I'm going to guess it's Dontavian Wicks, but I can't tell if it's Dobbs or anything like that. Trying to see a number here, but he sets a beautiful pick right here. Frees up this defensive back, and now you're going to have Jaden Reed go all the way on the outside. Now all he's got to do, Jordan Love right here, all he's got to do is throw this with a little bit of anticipation. And he does, and they beat their guy. And this was, in my opinion at least, phenomenal play calling. And, that final score kind of reflects maybe a little bit of a different game because it's technically like a 2-possession game, 13-27. But, and I will say as a Packers fan, I wasn't 100,000% sure that Green Bay was going to win this football game all the way up until probably that Rashan Garry sack there. That was a really big deal. But we got a beautiful screen here, and I'll show you looks like number 6 on the Detroit Lions. Just gets freed up, or he gets all screwed up right here. So Jayden Reed gets freed up. And this is a beautiful play design. And it's just that split second, that half second, game of inches that frees up Jayden Reed for the touchdown. Jordan Love throws a beautiful ball en route to a 16 for 22, 188 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. And we'll show you the other one right here. All right, guys, the real story to this football game was the defense. Jordan Love got it going right out of the get-go, putting up a touchdown on their first possession. We'll get to that more towards the end of the video because this defense dominated completely and utterly. They held Detroit to like barely over 200 total yards. Right now, it's 4th and 2. It's 24-6 Green Bay's way. There's a little less than 7 minutes left in this game. So once again, little out of the reach here for the Detroit Lions. And that right there is Devontae Wyatt. And we've been saying, and you're going to see a bunch of Rashan Garry in tonight's video as well, where it's like people were saying the Packers, Micah Parsons, they gave up Kenny Clark. They were not focused on guys like Devontae Wyatt, Lucas Van Ness, even Rashan Garry fitting into that category. Colby Wooden, I apologize, we got the wrong stunt here. The Packers are running this nice little DT stunt, and I, of course, arrowed to the wrong player. This is Devontae Wyatt, and basically, these guys are kind of crossing over, but we'll show you from the get-go. Goes inside and just takes him down. Former Georgia Bulldog in that same draft with Quay Walker there. We've been waiting for him to break out. Kind of falls under like Carl Brooks category for me, where it's like just this hidden gem that's made situationally really nice plays for the Green Bay Packers. And I just have to show this Devontae Wyatt sack. They were all over Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions offensive line. They completely dominated the trenches, both offensively and defensively. This right here is first possession. We got Jordan Love. Now, I do want to point out it's 3rd and 9. All right, there's 9 minutes, 31 seconds left in this first quarter. And you kind of see, you can barely even kind of see Tucker Kraft right here. This reminds me of vintage Jordan Love. This reminds me of a healthy Jordan Love. And you're going to see it just beautifully placed football. Because we got a couple of defensive backs. We got a couple of linebackers here. Because you can barely see it. But we got 1, 2 right here, Tucker Kraft, and then we got 3 all the way over here. You can barely see Dontavian Wicks. But we got a bunch of Packers wide receivers here, which means we got 1, 2, 3 Lions defenders already. And then right here in a second, you see the safeties and everybody else right here. So this ball certainly can't be underthrown. If it's overthrown, you're probably fine as far as interceptions go. If its hands touch it, there's nobody all the way back here in the Lions defensive back room. But this is a beautiful football to start off, a beautiful football game for the Green Bay Packers. I actually feel like this might be our last clip from this game. Let me see if I can get one more going. All right, guys, we will end it here. This was right after that Rashan Garry sack. It was the first play of the drive, so this is like 2 plays after it. It's 3rd down here. And you're going to see Micah Parsons right here wearing number 1, which looks amazing. And then Colby Wooden, who I think had a phenomenal football game. I'm really excited. You're going to see he goes literally untouched here and breaks David Montgomery, and then Rashan Garry comes in for a little bit of cleanup duty. Colby Wooden had 6 total tackles in this football game. Another one of these players, kind of similar to Quay Walker, Devontae Wyatt, where this guy's entering his 3rd campaign. He's only 24 years old. He's 6'4", 275 pounds. He's out of Auburn. I've been loving Jeff Hafley recently. The defensive schemes have been beautiful the last year in this game here. But I love the regiment of Green Bay's management staff where they draft all these SEC players. And this is kind of minute in detail here because, right after that Garry sack, Detroit's not throwing the football. They're all the way stuffed up at like the 1 yard line. They're literally at the 1 yard line here, trying to not have a safety, just punt the football out. And this Packers defense, man, will do a more detailed, like all 22, something like that. And also shout out Kobe for coming in with this, and Rashan Garry. There were Packers defenders every which way. And just at the end of the day, man, the Green Bay Packers 23-17 here, 246 yards allowed. They had the football for only 24 minutes. Detroit had the football for like 36 in it, especially in that first half because Green Bay kept scoring touchdowns. It was this was a phenomenal game, man. So I'm so happy. I'm ecstatic. You get a home win, which is a really big deal. Having that home field advantage in the first week of the season is a really big deal. Detroit kind of looked out of sorts here, and the Green Bay Packers offensive and defensive coaching staff did a phenomenal job. So thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button, hit that sub button if you haven't already. Let me know your player of the game down below. Give me maybe a grade rating as well, or whatever you want to do. And we got Washington on Thursday, so we'll get that all 22 video out in the next couple of days. Stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Peace.